Great. Thank you all for the exciting opportunity to speak with you today. So my name is Barbara Hibner, and I am the CSO and co-founder of Decoy Therapeutics. And one of our other co-founders is Brad Pentalute, who is a professor of chemistry at MIT, and I'll share with you where his innovations are really driving the work that we're doing. So early in my career in pharma, I actually spent a lot of time doing small molecule programs. And then I moved across the coast to West Coast, and I worked on large molecule programs, antibodies and proteins. And like Goldilocks, I really wished for something that could take the best of both of those modalities and put them together. And I hope to convince you today that I think we found that modality, and it's peptide conjugates. So the dogma for a long time was that peptides are not good drugs. They have poor PK, you put them into your body, and they don't last. They last for minutes, so they're not long enough to do the job. But I think that what we've seen in the recent approvals of several of these drugs, like Wegovy and Ozempic for diabetes and obesity, is that now these are blockbuster drugs and they're peptide conjugates. So we're looking at Decoy to really take advantage of the peptide conjugate modality and apply it to other therapeutic areas. So on the left-hand side, we actually started Decoy in April of 2020, and we were looking to apply peptide conjugates to antivirals, of course, because it was the pandemic, and that's really what spurred the foundation of our company. And so what we were creating and what we have created is a lead molecule that not only inhibits SARS-CoV-2 and all of its variants, but also the other coronaviruses that infect humans. So it's a very broad-based inhibitor. That program is currently in late preclinical stage, and we've been able to attract significant non-dilutive funding and grant funding to support that program through the late-stage preclinical work and even into early phase 1 and phase 2A clinical testing. So what we're looking to do now is to expand our platform beyond antivirals. We have several of the programs in antivirals, but we're looking to expand beyond that, and I draw your attention to the right-hand side here with GPCRs. So what I show in the figure is actually a GPCR, which is a G protein coupled receptor molecule, and this is actually GLP-1, which is the target of the diabetes and obesity drugs that I had on the previous slide. And in orange, you see the red spiral there is the ligand, so that is the molecule that binds to that receptor and modulates its signaling. And so we have a platform to really design these alpha helical peptides, and this is what we can apply them to broadly across a number of therapeutic areas. GPCRs are, in fact, the largest class of receptor proteins on the membrane of your cells, and they control all aspects of signaling across many different diseases. Our platform is comprised of 3 different components. We have on the right the business end of the molecule, or the warhead, and in the case of the antivirals, that is a peptide that looks to stop the ability of the virus to get into human cells. But really the guts of the system is the middle piece, and this is what has been brought to us by Brad Pentalute, really focused on the linker chemistry, the conjugation work, with an attention towards formulation and manufacturing, as well as the speed of which we can make these molecules, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then finally, and equally important, is the targeting ability. So being able to direct these molecules the place where you want them to go, getting them to the right tissue, avoiding any off-target toxicity or systemic toxicity. So our vision for this platform is not small. We actually are looking to drive a revolution in the discovery and the development of peptide conjugates. And so what our technology brings forward is we have an AI design engine, which we have then also coupled with a whole different way to make these molecules. So again, we have novel linker chemistry that creates more stable molecules. And then Brad has brought forward a novel peptide synthesizer, which can make these peptides very fast, literally in hours instead of weeks, or even months that it can take to make these peptides otherwise. So that is the guts. And what we have here then is a design, build, test cycle that is incredibly fast and really revolutionizing the idea of how we can find drugs and discover them and bring them forward. So a recent innovation I have to mention is that Brad now can not only make the peptides really fast, but the entire molecule. building all of it on the resin at one time. And so I've mentioned a little bit about our platform, a little bit about our pipeline products, and what I'm really here for today is we're looking for partnerships to expand into this GPCR space for oncology applications, as well as neurology and immunology. So anybody interested in that, come and find me at the showcase. And thank you very much.